Hello everyone, this is Martin. That's me here in the top left-hand corner, and welcome to another weekly video update. We're going to be looking at trading opportunities for the week of November 13th to the 17th, which is coming up. The USD is flying low. That's the theme for this week, and what I mean by that is basically the USD is not doing much. It's in a consolidating pattern and that's causing the other like the major currency pairs to also trade either sideways or they're consolidating. There really hasn't been too much trading activity because of the low volume, except for the British pound pairs. After a couple of weeks ago, there was an interest rate hike, and there was some good activity then. But even then, the British pairs have kind of quieted down, and so we look forward to this week to see what's going to happen. We always want to look for more evidence. Okay, before we go to the charts, let's review this really carefully. This is the risk disclaimer, and if you've never done this, you can pause the video and read the information. Mainly, this video is for educational purposes. I want you to understand that. I mean, even though I give you some pretty good trading ideas with exchange price levels and that, it's always important to know that you're trading with your own money and trade at your own risk. Okay. Now, the other thing is my opinion may change at any time. Like right now, I'm producing this video on the weekend before the market opens up, and my views may change at any time once the markets are live. And so just keep that in mind. Okay, so now we're going to go to the actual trading charts. Okay, we're going to start with the Euro USD. This is the daily chart. That means each candle is a daily candle, and you can see price really has moved down from a from the swing highs here. It failed to produce a higher high, so we are now in a bearish market. Okay, and this is called a pullback. So price has been pulling back. And we're looking for further evidence to let us know whether price will go higher or price will go lower from here. Okay, and the only really recommendation I've got, like my bias is kind of either sideways or to the downside. But if you're looking for sell opportunities, you can look for a sell below 116.18. If you're looking for a buy, you can certainly buy above this gray rectangle here, and this is resistance. Okay, so my bias is to the downside, and we'll see what happens. Now we're going to continue to the next chart, and that is the British pound. USD daily. Here you can see the same thing. We had our huge drop. Do you see this big huge candle here? Take my crosshair. Price dropped 186 pips or more on the this was 2 weeks ago, and this was because of the interest rate hike for the British pound, and this caused for reasons I explained last week, this caused price to drop quite a bit, but now we have been pulling back. So when you see this kind of pattern after a big candle, always be wary about getting in after a big huge drop. Always wait for a pullback, wait for the pullback to end, and you can actually enter a sell trade if price breaks below this trend line. But right now I've got don't really have any recommendations. I'd be looking at more evidence. Price has to close really above here, and you can see already previous resistance is failed to make a higher high, so it's going to take a lot of momentum to get price again above this resistance zone in the gray rectangle. So I don't really have any recommendations, except if you think price is going to go lower, you could draw a trend line here and right about there. Okay, you can look at a sell trade, and just keep in mind we have again major support. So you see, not much there. The really conservative thing to do if you want to be really safe is do nothing right now. Wait for more evidence, and evidence means price would have to come below here for you to consider a sell trade. Price would have to come up here for you to consider a buy trade. Okay, so let's take this off the charts and let's continue with the Australian USD. Okay, same thing. Price has been in a downtrend for a while. You can take a look below. You can see the trending indicator. As soon as it gets below these zero level right here, see here. Okay, so it's been in a downtrend ever since. We are in a consolidation pattern. It's a pullback, and if we think price is going to go lower, then we want to take a sell below 0.7618. If we believe price is going to go higher, you could look at a buy trade above 0.7730. Okay, so now Australian dollar is often tied into gold. Gold, you can see the same thing. We are in a channel, okay, and it's an upward channel, but basically it's a flag. Do you see that? It's a flagpole, upside down flag, and if price is going to drop, it could drop. You see the distance from here to here, whatever that is, okay, and I'll take out my crosshair, okay, so that's approximately 385 pips. So price, if it breaks this area or breaks here, it could certainly drop another 380 pips or so to match the flagpole here. So that's how upside down flags work, although price may just come down to the 200, which is the dash red line, and the gray rectangle, which is support. So, and price may come back down and then just bounce higher. Okay, so a lot of things. Watch for a break below the trend line here if you join the bottoms of these candles. Okay, and that's the play on gold. Let's remove that. Let's get on to the New Zealand US dollar. Okay, guys. Same thing, big, huge drop in price. You can see that right here. Okay, the drop started, right about there. Okay, you can see the the trending indicator. The bars are all below zero. Even though we have some green here, this just means it's a pullback. Okay, pullback. There's your pullback. Okay, another pullback. So in the trending calendar, I keep saying calendar, but it's the trending indicator. When you see the green bars, that means we are in a pullback, exactly like the Australian dollar. What is this, guys? Well, it's an upside down flag. So from here, price breaks below here, price certainly can drop quite a ways. If you think your price is going to go lower, you can look at sells below 0.6890. If you think price is going to go higher for perhaps a short-term play up to the upside again, this is a counter trend move, but short term, okay, because here you see we have the 89 average right there, so it's 69.66. If price goes, if you think price is going to go higher, you could look at a buy above 0.6966. Okay, and let's move on. Let's move on to the next one. It's the US CAD. Okay, US CAD here. Opposite now. It's opposite because the USD is the first name in the currency pair, whereas in the previous pairs, the USD was the second name in the pair. So USD here, price has gone up. You can see it's gone up quite a ways, just like the other pairs, except in the opposite direction. We are in a pullback. Okay, pullback. And we're waiting for price either to break to the upside or we're waiting for price to continue going back down. Okay, so if you think price is going to go higher, look for buys above 127.64, and to the downside, you could be looking at sells below 126.40. Okay, so that's what I see for the US CAD, and let's continue. What do we have next? Well, oil. just because oil is tied into the Canadian dollar. And you can see the same thing. Oil did go up. It has gone up quite a ways. In my last week's video, I don't know if you can remember, but I drew in these two lines. I've left them on the chart for this week, but you see this line here? You see that line here? I drew them as extended resistance areas, and you can see what happened. Price did stall exactly at where I said it would. So price went up last week, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 sideways candles, little bearish there, doji, doji, doji. Nice big fight going on between the buyers and the sellers. And what will happen next? Well, price will either go up or price will go down, and you're just going to have to wait for some further evidence. But if price goes up, you could be looking at buys to this next resistance area. I believe price could go up higher from here. Okay, so now let's go to the US Swiss franc. Okay, now same thing. Price has gone up quite a ways. You can see that right there. And if you think price is going to go lower, then you could look at sells below 0.9918. If you think price could go higher, then you could be looking at a buy above 0.9974. So again, price has to close above the 8. This is the 8 EMA for price to go possibly higher, but again, take a look. Here is major resistance, okay? And you can see in the past, prices failed to make a higher high. So really, for price to be to continue its uptrend, it really has to come to here and then possibly and actually break the resistance, and then you could look at price perhaps going higher. But again, I've given you my trade ideas, and it's up to you on whether you want to act on them. Always trade with caution, especially if you're trading with real money. Always use stop losses. Okay, so now we get to the US Japanese. Well, we had a big consolidation with this within this upper. You can see this is kind of a bearish. This is a bearish pennant pattern. Okay, I'm not really too big on patterns. There's a few I'm interested in, but when I see something like this, I'm always looking to a break to the downside. And on last Thursday, see with this big black candle, black bearish candle, we had a move to the downside. So it did break below the lower trend line of this pennant. Again, if you think price is going to keep falling lower, you could look at sells below 113.30. And on the upside, price would have to break and stay above the 8 EMA, which is this right here. And you could possibly be looking at buys above 114.10 to the upside. Okay. Again, please note the lower support zone and the upper resistance area. Okay, so right now you can see price is just kind of squeezed in between the upper and lower zones. Okay, so that is for the US Japanese. We are going to move on to the Euro British Pound. Okay, now which way is this going to go? Basically, it's a kind of a bearish market, but sideways. It's really moving sideways. So price is again consolidating, just like a lot of the other pairs that I've already showed you. And if you think price is going to go higher, you're going to have to wait till all the way above up here, 0.8940 for the upside. And if you think price is going to come down lower, you're going to have to wait till price comes down below 0.8745. So I've given it a wide berth here. Again, it's just just sideways right now. Okay, and again, you could always draw in a trend line. You see, once price breaks here, you possibly could be looking at price come down to at least this area. You see the 200, here's the 200, but I've already drawn in this gray support zone area. Okay, so now we move to another cross pair. We're looking at Euro Japanese yen. Okay, here, sideways, just like almost everything else, wait. You always want to wait for more evidence. If you think price is going to go higher, then you could look at buys above 133.10. Lower, if price goes lower, you could be looking at sells below 130, 130. Your first target, if price does come lower, is you see this right here? Okay, that's the 89 there, okay, and that would be your first target. Price breaks here, obviously it could go to at least the previous swing low, okay? So that is that pair, the Euro Japanese Yen, and we're moving along to the Euro Audi. Now, I don't really have any recommendations to the downside. I'm looking though, if price is going to go higher, you could be looking at buys at above 152.55 to the upside. Price though may, and you can consider this price, because take a look here, previous resistance, previous resistance. This was kind of a false breakout right there. Price from here could actually bounce back lower and then go back higher to here or higher. Okay, so always consider, you can consider this price, or there could be another bit of a false breakout to the upside and a bounce down, and then you just have to wait for the evidence. But possibly look for buys above 152.55. And I think we're coming to our last pair. It's the British pound Japanese yen. Daily chart again. Each candle is a day's worth of price movement. If you think price is going to go higher, you could look at buys above 150.20. If you think price is going to come down lower, you could look at sells below 148.30. Notice that I've drawn in a lower trend line, so you can see so far price has respected this as a support area. Price really has been consolidating within this triangle, this pennant pattern. Okay, so price from here possibly could be going higher. Okay, so that wraps it up for this coming week. Uh, Hopefully this information helps you, and if you need any more help or you want to find out more about my courses, my name is Martin, okay, and you can contact me at mskyj007@gmail.com. Nothing fancy about that, but certainly I would give you some great advice and help in your Forex trading. Take care, everyone. Happy trading. We will talk to you again soon.